what can we do now as a solution? Because I think what you shared now, believe me, we've been feeling this frustration longer than the couple days that you've been visiting, no offense, but we live this every day, and we're struggling for how can we take the next step? And that's so, and I'll hand this over, but I want us to at some point get
I'd like
back
to answer that. Well, I want to answer this one, Alan. Okay, because we were talking about this last week, actually, which was a very interesting at a conference of sustainability issues for university campuses, and they were saying, you know, how do you prepare for the fact that all this mobility is going to change on, let's say, a university campus? So how do you prepare for this? So if you use Alan's elevator analogy, if you go back and think about what's happened to buildings in the last 100 years, and you realize there weren't HVAC systems, there weren't elevators in every building, there were none of these things that we take for granted. And we had to go back in and retrofit and put these types of systems back into our older buildings, and then the newer ones, of course, got designed for all of these different aspects that we now take for granted in our lives. So we talked about starting to think about planning. So when you're thinking about how could these new systems now become a part of what's already existing in our environment, and how can we begin to design? So if you've got a whole new complex like Apple, how do you begin to design so that that new system, when it's ready to go on board or to get there, as they already have systems, how does it then easily integrate into what's there so that it happens? And it's not that difficult as long as you think about it, and as long as you accept and understand that it's here. I mean, I know we can talk about hacking and we can talk about maybe it's not here, but it's here. And so how do we, you know, we have to say it's here, all of us. And we may all have our personal reservations about it, but there's a lot of benefit, there's a lot of positive, and what we have to do is navigate the change so that those things happen and the positive stuff occurs. And we have to navigate that to happen. It's just that simple.